Cheers, Muses. I'm Erica Papillon-Posey, and welcome to another episode of Suits Souls by EPP, where I inspire you toward your style muse with timeless, classic, prim looks from my boudoir, as well as some content to assist you in your best lifestyle. And as a reminder, please hang out until the end for the mini photo shoot that I provide for you at the conclusion of this episode. And in today's episode, we've got 3 style inspirations for you, all featuring this corset by today's sponsor, Perfect Corset. Now, the moment that I was given the opportunity to go to their website and choose one of these stunning, timeless, classic corsets, and I'll tell you why they're classic in a moment, I jumped at the opportunity. And the moment that I was perusing the website, I happened upon this beauty. She screamed at me immediately. Also because, not just because of what she looks like, but because of her name. Her name is Muse, right? Muse. And why is that important? Because I refer to all of you as my muses, my inspirations, as well as myself as a style muse. So how perfect, how fitting, right? Now, if any of you want to rush on over there, you do so after this video, at the conclusion of this video, where you can use my unique discount code EPP25. That's right, EPP25 for 25% off of anything on their website. So when we're done here, you're going to want to run over there. And again, I am placing the link in the description below so that you can just click and go there immediately, but also at the bottom of the screen here at perfectcorsetny.com. That's perfectcorsetny.com. Again, thank you so much, Perfect Corset, for being the sponsor of today's video. So let's get into these 3 actually holiday inspired looks, all featuring Muse, right? So our first look, I went with, oh my gosh, this beauty here. Now this velvet green blazer, what says holiday like velvet green, right? I actually got this beauty from a retailer on Amazon that does custom suiting. Now, you know, suiting is my thing, right? So the moment that I realized that this, it's a Chinese vendor actually also. You just send the measurements in and they customize them for you. This is a double-breasted, again, velvet green with this gorgeous satin piping that goes along the entirety of the lapel area with these just incredible green satin buttons to highlight, as well as on the sleeve area here, this 4-button satin feature here, just beautiful. There is venting on the back as well. Now, this is actually a men's retailer on Amazon. Again, it's a men's retailer, but they'll customize it for you however you so choose. So it's open to you as well. Of course, you have your traditional pocket here for your pocket square, if you so choose. But I just love the lapel feature and detailing because it really is a men's wear, a men's featured item on this blazer. So it's just a stunning piece of work. And again, I actually love how it is lined, completely 100% lined. There are pockets on the inside. Both sides of the blazer itself feature pockets. And I'm saying blazer, but it's actually a tuxedo. Yes, can't you tell? Just really old world, the way the lapels are featured here. Stunning piece of work. And with this blazer, this tuxedo blazer, I went with the satin trousers by Banana Republic Factory. I have so many pairs of trousers from Banana Republic Factory, it's not even funny. But they always are able to reinvent and reimagine the basic trouser. So whenever I have an opportunity to pick up another pair, and also because the price point is what? Excellent, excellent, excellent. Just really, you can't go wrong shopping at Banana Republic Factory. And so these trousers have pockets, feature pockets on both sides. You know, pockets are utilitarian. We need the pockets, right, ladies? With these pleating here on both sides as well. And then it zips up the back. Now, the other thing that I really think that features well on these trousers is the dramatic wide legs at the bottom, which are perfect and fitting for the holiday season, because you want drama during the holidays, right? That's what it's all about, is dressing well, especially all these holiday parties you're going to be attending. So what better than to just go all out with the drama than do these satin bell bottom, just super wide leg, dramatic trousers. And what accessories did I go with? Starting now, look, the accessories are what made this look completely and utterly. But I'm going to save the piece de resistance for the very end of this look and show you what handbag and shoes I went with. You've seen this handbag before. This is a Steve Madden handbag. I actually purchased mine at Marshall's, but it is by Steve Madden. I don't think that they have anymore. It actually came in this satin black as well as a satin fuchsia color, but this substantial rhinestone square detailing on the front really does highlight this beautiful little satchel, right? It does come with another strap for crossbody shoulder wear. You can put your cell phone and, you know, all of your essentials in here. And then the little feet at the bottom, also beautiful. The feet at the bottom don't really do much for it because the rhinestone detailing on the front of the bag is so substantial. It actually topples forward because it's just that heavy. And then I went with this square toe ballerina inspired shoe. It is actually a take on the Jacquemus shoe. Yeah. But it is the Jeffrey Campbell version. You know, I also have this heel in 3 other iterations, 3 other colorways, actually. But look at the square toe detailing here with the dainty bow on top, juxtaposed against this industrial gunmetal steel heel. Just love it. Now, you know, I have told you in the past that one of the things I really love to do is play with accessories and marrying accessories, but that I also love balance in my looks. I don't like it when things are off. I love symmetry is everything, but I also love messing with shapes as well. So whenever I dress, I like to marry and mimic the shapes in all of my items as well. So you see the square toe here. We went with this industrial square toe heel, as I said. But we also have the square of the bag itself, the shape of the bag itself, as well as the square rhinestone detailing on the front. Again, just super substantial. Now, why is that important? Why is that important? Because of the what I'm getting ready to show you in terms of, like I said, the piece de resistance of this look, baby, look. I need a moment because I need to pick it up. I need a moment to pick it up. And this piece, I actually fault Dr. Sharon McDaniel for, because she turned me on to this piece. It is so ridiculously heavy. Look at her. Look at this. Look, this piece is not for the faint of heart. You have to really have some sturdiness to you, some substantialness to you and your body frame to be able to wear this. It is like truly a work of art. It is a collector's item for sure. It is so heavy. Again, so incredibly substantial. So you need to be ready. You need to have your big girl underclothes on to put this one on. But this is indeed the feature of that look. And again, mimicked in terms of the shape and the square with the toe box of the heel, as well as the square on the handbag itself and the handbag itself, right? Just incredible. Super, super, super heavy, right? Oh, she takes some heart. You gotta have heart to wear her. You really do. You really do. So yes. And then of course I went with, just a basic lip, because the feature had to be that necklace, right? I didn't do a lot with the jewelry either, because the feature has to be that the necklace needs its own zip code, does it not? For sure, for sure. Now, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background and history on corsets and why we wear corsets in anyway. I actually have history with corsets because a few of the opera roles that I performed as a mezzo-soprano, based on the period of music that I actually sang, all would feature primarily costumes that required corsets because, again, of the period of time in which the costumes belonged to. So a lot of the music, for instance, that I sang belonged to the Romantic period. And when I say Romantic period, that is like the 19th century, so the 1800s, right? And at the time, it called for that type of dress, that type of wear. So I am very, very familiar, as evidenced here on the screen. You can see in a couple of the opera roles, specifically Carmen from the opera Carmen, Bizet's Carmen, that I performed. The costume always called for some form of corset. But do you know that corsets were actually introduced by a woman, which is very surprising because, you know, we have other things that we wear and that were actually created by men. But in this case, surprisingly, corsets were actually a creation by Catherine de Medici. Catherine de Medici. Now, why does that name sound maybe familiar to you? Medici, medicine. Yes, Catherine de Medici was actually the wife of, she was Italian. She was Italian by birth, yes, but she actually became the wife of King Henry of France, the second of France. Yeah. So she believed that you could not be a woman at court and have a thick or wide waist. So by her requirements, Catherine de Medici, you had to have a waist of 18 to 32 inches. If you had anything larger than 32 inches, you were not allowed at court. And all of the aristocracy wanted to be at court. So you adhered to her strict requirements of all the ladies being corseted. Now, you might not also be aware, but men wore corsets as well because they too wanted this long, slender, svelte silhouette, yes, and this uprightness that it causes you to have because you are cinched in so much. Now, 18 to 32, thank God, my waist is currently a 27. So I would have fit pretty well in the period. But corsets are said to really cause a lot of, they weren't popular. They were a requirement, they were mandatory, but they weren't popular because they were so restrictive, which we'll get into in a moment, just after we look at look number 2, again, featuring Muse by Perfect Corset. Look number 2. I went with this beautiful 2-piece tuxedo suit from Zara. I have had this tuxedo suit about 10 years now. The last time I wore it was for a concert, a jazz concert that I performed in some time ago. This is a Zara tuxedo. Again, this is from the period where they were still making some fire clothing. I think they've rebounded a little bit in the since I've been complaining. They must have heard my cries because Zara's been back on the scene lately, especially the Zara's that I shop in Europe. I just came back from Florence again a week ago, and it was a disaster. Not Florence itself, but the trip, the airport, lost my bag, the whole nine. It was a fiasco. Anywho, I got the opportunity to go to Zara in Florence, and it was fire. There were some amazing pieces that I am super impressed with, similar to this piece here, again, from 10 years ago. But the thing that I really like about this particular tuxedo, besides the lapel, the satin lapel, yes, is also the satin piping that runs along the sides of the trouser, as well as around the waistband of the trouser. And I don't know if you can see here, but there are buttons on both sides, and they are both functional buttons. Yeah, so you can zip and unzip, button and unbutton on both sides of the trouser. It is a tapered leg, as you can see from the video. So You can see those shoes, girls. You can see those shoes. Yes, yes, yes. And we want to highlight those shoes, right? Sometimes you don't want to wear dramatic wide leg trousers because you really want to feature those heels, as we did in this look. The heels that I went with, these Satin Beauties by Jessica Simpson. I also have these in ivory, which I have worn in a previous video. But the thing that is super beautiful about this beauty here is the little bracelet detailing, rhinestone detailing with this cute little rhinestone ball that goes around the ankle here. Just stunning. It is removable, so you can actually take it off and you could wear it independently if you wanted to, but they are beautiful. There is a leather inlay on the inside, but all satin. You want to spray your satin shoes. Don't forget about that so that they stay nice and clean for you for future wear. But again, these are by Jessica Simpson. I think they may still be available. Again, they came in black, they came in ivory, and they came in red, and I have the ivory iteration as well. But these are beautiful, 4 inches here. Again, all satin by Jessica Simpson. If they are still available, of course, as always, I will link them for you. And then the handbag that I went with is this Nina handbag. I have worn it one other time in a previous look. I think I did a gold. Yes, when I did the Josephine Baker video for you all, when I sang, I spoke about my Josephine Baker experience. Yes. So this is a satin bag with this harness that goes around the circumference of the bag. It is beautiful, also incredibly substantial. And just look at that rhinestone detailing all around the circumference of the bag. Just stunning. Love it. I have this one in gray as well. And again, just as beautiful. It's a light, very light gray, yeah, but with the same rhinestone detailing around the circumference of the bag. Again, also featuring this beautiful Muse corset by Perfect Corset. Now, as I said previously, the men also wore corsets, which is really, really, really hard to believe that men wore corsets also. They did not care. If you were going to be at court, you did whatever you needed to do to adhere to the norms and the customs of the time. And so it was not gender specific. It was gender inclusive, if you will. But corsets were said to have caused all sorts of literally disabilities, if you will, all sorts of problems, from depression to infertility to women passing out because the corsets, look, everybody wanted their waist to be super, super, super small as possible. And they were willing to suffer that if it meant that they could rub elbows with the nobility and the aristocracy of the period. They would suffer all manner of, unnecessary things just to be in the company of the king, of the monarchy of the period, right? So yes, they would do whatever they needed to do. And if it meant cinching that waist in and making that silhouette, maybe that is exactly what they did. Do you see that there? How tightly I have it pulled in the back? It actually is rather comfortable. But the thing that made it uncomfortable at the time is because there was actual boning from animals that was used to keep you upright, which made it very uncomfortable because it was pushing on your ribs, right? And restricting your breathing. Now, another fun fact, Napoleon Bonaparte was the one who actually came out and said, look, this is ridiculous. All these passing out, these fainting spells. We need to stop this nonsense right now. So he was actually very instrumental in the movement to stop people from wearing the corsets. In addition, it was also causing, believe it or not, people had bouts of tuberculosis and pneumonia, very, very common, because of the restrictions of wearing a corset, right? More about that as well as soon as we get into look number 3. Now, with look number 3, we went with this beautiful, gorgeous purple. Again, another velvet number. This beautiful one button jacket is from Mango. I actually purchased this one last winter at last fall, exactly this time. It was $150 retail, but I actually got it for like 45 bucks on clearance, which is really strange because they actually have, I think, almost the same exact blazer this season for the same price point. But yeah, I literally went in store and checked it out. It's the same exact blazer for the same price point, retail price point, but I purchased mine on clearance a year ago at $45. That's right. We want the deal. We want the discount whenever possible. Yes, ladies, right? Mm-hmm. And instead of trousers this time, we actually went with a maxi skirt. This maxi skirt is by Ann Taylor. I have had this beauty for about 12, 13 years. One of the pieces of clothing, articles of clothing that you were always required to have in your wardrobe as a singer is a long black skirt. And I always wanted to invest in, when I knew I would need one, invest in one that was of quality. And this Ann Taylor version is just one for the ages. It really is. Also, it has copious amounts of give here. So there's a split on the front there. Do you see that? It comes up right, as you can tell from the video, there just below the knee area so that you can still see those heels. So when I say it's a maxi, it's a maxi because remember, I'm 5'2.5", and even with heels on, it still drags the floor for me. But it is made of this heavy duty industrial neoprene material, and it zips up the side area here on the left side. But the feature of this skirt that I really, really like is the substantial piping that goes down to the very bottom of the skirt. She's just a stunner, right? The heels that I went with for this look, right? I think you have seen before that I actually got secondhand satin city sandal, beautiful, with this butterfly detailing. Why is butterflies important? Why? Because my last name means butterfly. You remember. Aren't these gorgeous? These are just one of my favorite, all-time favorite pairs of heels, shoes, period, in my entire collection. Look at that heel there. Just beautiful. Stunning. There's actually plastic on the bottom, and I never removed the plastic from them. And then I also put a padding under the bottom here so that they didn't get scuffed up, because I've worn these quite a few times. And then look at the detailing on the back, the body of the butterfly itself. Very heavy, very substantial, just a beautifully made pair of heels. These retailed for about $1,000, but I actually, again, got them secondhand from someone on, I think it was Etsy, if I'm not mistaken. It's been so many years. I've had these about 15, 16 years, I think. I think it's been that long. But I actually paid $100 for them. And I have gotten my cost per wear out of them. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I'm super happy with the purchase of these. They are a staple in my collection. I will never get rid of them. The footbed of the shoe is also completely leather, but this portion here, as well as the strap that goes across the top of the foot, is all satin. So it's just a beautifully constructed shoe, and just one for the ages, right? She's just boss, 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 boss. I have worn these one other time as well. Last holiday season, when I did some holiday looks also, I'll pop it up here for you, in a black velvet Ann Taylor suit that I featured these in, as well as this little circular handbag here, right? I don't even remember who this bag is by or where I purchased it from, which is rare for me because, you know, I remember pretty much where I purchased everything from and how long ago I purchased it. But this is one of the most nondescript, I have no idea who the maker of this bag is. If any of you know who this bag is by, please let me know. I just forget, completely don't remember at all. But she's super cute, right? She's a cute little circular satchel, and I think really did bring this look out very, very well. So chime in below. Let me know which of those looks that you really like, and you know, if one of them or all of them. But I had fun doing this in conjunction with Perfect Corset, featuring, again, today's beauty called Muse, right? Again, don't forget to head on over to their website, perfectcorsetny.com, where you can use my special discount code EPP25 for 25% off of anything that you see on the website. Now, I just wanted to share with you a few other things about corsets and the history of corsets. They've been around since the 16th century, so that is, again, the 1500s. As I said, introduced by Catherine de Medici. Now, I said to you at the top of the episode that I would tell you why Catherine Medici was important, because she came from the Medici family from Florence, Italy. Now, their family is super important because they were sponsors and patrons of the Michelangelo. That is right, as well as many other artists. But I would think their biggest artist that they sponsored at the time and was a patron of was the Michelangelo, right? The David, right? The creator of the David and the Sistine Chapel, right? But also Medicine, as I said at the top, their family is also responsible. So they were not into just sponsoring individuals who had promise and talent in the arts, but they also sponsored people that had talent in the maths and the sciences as well. Their family also boasts 2 other popes. That's right, sure did. But they are responsible for banking as we know it today. So the way we do accounts payable and accounts receivable is a indirect relation to how the banking system started with the family, the Medici family from Florence, Italy, as well as the Hippocratic Oath that doctors take to do no harm. They created the Hippocratic Oath for medicine, the Medici family, right? Super interesting. Don't you just love history? History is so informative and really does inform how you look at the world on a larger, broader scope, just like the corset here from the 16th century, the 1500s, right? So if you're planning to come on the trip, the 5 Senses of Florence, June 9 through 15, 2025, that's June 9 through 15, 2025, you will be able to visit the actual home of the Medicis, which is now one of the largest museums and houses one of the largest collections of the Renaissance period in history. That's right. So consider coming on the tour. There's still a couple of seats available. Here's the QR code. If you're interested, you just click the QR code and it will take you directly to my website where you can find more information on attending the tour next June 2025, 9 through 15, where you too can visit the actual home, which is now a museum of the Medici family. So thank you so very much, Muses, for joining me on today's episode of Suits Souls by EPP. And if you're not already doing so, please head on over to Instagram and follow me there at Suits Souls by EPP. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for notifications on all new episodes. But until we meet again, à bientôt, Muses! Bye! Double leather label rich mocha hue, melanin tint. Woman is born, third citizen.